Hey my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, I don't know if you remember back or if you've been here long enough, but I remember back in the days when I had the 4070 Super and I had the 7800 XT from AMD, and I went against the smartest person on the world, you know, Daniel Owens, because he was recommending that you get a 4070, and I was like, no, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think you should get a 7800 XT. And well, now we find ourselves in an interesting predicament that I want you guys to think about. It's not me like throwing stones or anything like that. We had two completely different recommendations. I recommended getting the AMD GPU. He recommended getting the 12 gigabyte 4070 or 4070 Super. So now if we look at this, we have a game called Indiana Jones in the Great Circle, okay? This game has all of the features set that you would buy an Nvidia GPU for. Like, you would buy this thing because you want path tracing, you want the ray tracing, and you want the DLSS, right? I mean, that to me seems a little bit like, oh, yeah, okay, you know, I get it. If you're into that stuff, then you would definitely want that. But here's the problem, okay? You've got people with 4080 Supers and 4090s playing this game at 1440p, and the 4070 Super 4070 12 gigabyte GPU is supposed to be a 1440p card. So if you've got 4K cards playing this game at 1440p and running out of VRAM with 16 gigs of VRAM on a 4080 Super, I can only imagine how that 4070 is doing right now. I kind of wish I would have kept it for this, because this is the end of the generation, what we were all talking about. Now, I did say that I would come back during the end of the generation and we would talk about this. And here we are. So the thing I want to point out, my friends, honestly, this is the thing I want to point out to you guys. If you're taking the advice of these reviewers that are essentially just agreeing with everybody else and being like, oh yeah, Nvidia is the best, just get it because of DLSS, get it because of ray tracing, you got to understand, if you are in that $500 to $600, you know, $700 GPU bracket, you know, and under, it makes more sense for you to buy AMD. Simply because you don't get to have those features. Now, yes, you can run an old game like Cyberpunk 2077 with better ray tracing on a 4070 Super than you can on my 7900 XTX. Yeah, you can. You can get better ray tracing, you can get better freaking DLSS, whatever, okay? Like that actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I mean, yeah, you can use frame generation, whatever. I think I was getting like 1440p at like 75 frames a second with path tracing, everything turned on a 4070 Super on a 4-year-old game. But then you start getting into games like Black Myth Wukong or Alan Wake 2, or, you know, some of these other games that start to really test that 12 gigs and that 4070. You know, these are the reasons that you would buy an Nvidia GPU. And I'm sorry to tell you guys that in my personal experience with both AMD and Nvidia, AMD is the place where you want to be if you are not going to go high end. If you can afford 4090, 4080, whatever, go high end, do whatever you got to do. But buy those cards right when they come out, because at the end of the generation is when you're going to start to see this massive drop off in overall performance and quality and all of that stuff. And I get it, man. The PC space is like, well, we want games to be forward pushing, and we want them to push our hardware and all of that stuff. And no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you want the games to be performant. Let's be honest. You want consistency, just like I do. You got to understand, dude. I'm a consumer, just like you. I'm a consumer, just like you, and I want the same things that you want. And you know you want consistency because, I mean, think about it. The wisdom is that everybody should wait. Don't just wait till the next GPU comes out. Wait till the next GPU comes out. Now I understand where that wives' tale comes from, because if you're buying a GPU and you are, you know, obviously we want consistency. Obviously we want our GPUs to go as long as they possibly can. Why? Because that to us is a better thing. Obviously, when you look at this, and to me it only feels like an Nvidia problem. When you have a game like Indiana Jones come out, and then you can't run it like you used to be able to. Like you were running all these games and you were high and you were feeling really good, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose massive amounts of performance. You can't utilize all of the ray tracing. You know, just something. Obviously, I recorded this part after recording the video, so this is going to be spliced in. So, you know what I mean, guys? Like, it's just one of those things where with Nvidia, I feel like they market this stuff and they bake in obsolescence. Obviously they do, and they bake in the FOMO. They bake in the FOMO. You get it. You start getting these new games at the end of the generation. Clearly, I mean, they're already doing the marketing with The Witcher 4 on an unannounced Nvidia GeForce GPU. You know what I mean? They're already baking in that hype. And it just kind of sucks, because I feel like this generation prices for Nvidia GPUs are going up again, and I feel like we're going to get less with those GPUs as well, and they're going to start relying even more heavily on this software to boost your performance and stuff. Now, I'm not saying AMD is perfect or anything. I'm just saying that, like, if you are a budget conscious gamer and you want a little bit of longevity and you want actual freaking features that you're going to be able to use with buying your GPUs, you should probably go AMD. Like, seriously, you should probably go AMD. If you think about it, this is the way I look at it. The AMD Adrenalin software is designed literally for gamers, and I feel like there's more features with Adrenalin than there are actual features for than Nvidia sells with their cards. Yes, they have new technologies. They have ray tracing. They have path tracing. They have DLSS, whatever. You can't really use all of those on your mid-range GPUs from Nvidia for long. I mean, like, you can use them if you're playing old games, whatever. It probably doesn't matter. But yeah, guys, this is just something, honestly, guys, it's just something to think about. Just to think about. Like, when you're making your next GPU purchase and you're thinking, you're like, oh man, everybody's really pushing me towards Nvidia, but I only have this amount of money. Look at how much money you have in your hand, and then look at what AMD has to offer for that price. And then you'll be like, okay, all right, so if I buy this 4070, it's $600. But I can get that AMD 7800 for $500. Or I can get a 7900 GRE for $550. You see what I mean? Just look at your options on the AMD side and see if, you know, if that extra raw power and VRAM and all of that stuff will be a better benefit for you longer than that instant gratification. That's what Nvidia is to me, guys. It's just instant gratification. It's great at first, and then boom, it starts to fall off. And me personally, I don't like feeling like that. I don't like buying a game and then, like, finding out, oh man, that doesn't run that good on this card, because it feels like it's artificially gimped. Whereas with AMD, like, I've literally felt pretty good about every single thing I've played on that. Like, it's all really been within my expectations for how that card at that price should run. And I feel really good still this far out, you know, this close to the next generation of cards. And if AMD is really only bringing a card that's under power of what I already have right now, that tells me that AMD's got confidence that these cards are still going to be fairly good, you know, at least till the next generation. So that's kind of got me a little bit excited. So, but I want that consistency. I want to have a good, consistent experience across the board, and AMD delivers that for me. I'm still satisfied with, I mean, dude, I'm playing Indiana Jones at 4K with the AMD only ray tracing at over 60 frames a second. I get over 4K. Like, I'm like, okay, that's good. That is acceptable to me. I'm playing Stalker 2 at 4K, and it looks incredible on my 4K screen. Yes, I'm using upscaling, but on Indiana Jones, like I'm literally running at native resolution because it doesn't even have FSR in there. It doesn't even have it. So when I look back at that video, and you know, and I tell you, and I told you guys, and I was like, look guys, I recommend the 7800 XT. You know, you could even get a GRE. You can even get a 7900 GRE for the same price, you know, for less money and still get more VRAM. Like those AMD cards are literally showing you it right now that like, yeah, dude, having a little bit of ray tracing is cool and it's flashy and it's fun, but don't delude yourself into thinking that you are getting this superior experience when now what resolution are you guys playing Indiana Jones at? With the full path tracing and the ray tracing and all of that stuff. Let me know in the comments section. If you own a 4070 or a 4070 Super and Daniel Owens is the one that, you know, convinced you to buy those, let me know how you're feeling about those GPUs when it comes to the features that you bought those GPUs for. And like if you're somebody that bought a 7800 XT, let me know how you're feeling about your Indiana Jones experience. Are you able to rock 1440p? Are you using high settings? Are you enjoying that experience? Just let me know, man. Like this isn't designed to be like a negative video. I want to know how the community is actually feeling about this, you know, because I found that I enjoy AMD better, and I feel like the consistency has been better so far. I mean, we'll find out, obviously, but when I look at the overall experience of how things would be running right now if you had, you know, bought a 4070 or you got a 7800 XT, and you're running these games, you know, I just kind of feel like AMD was the better decision. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.